Hey YouTube and Caymanas Park Turf Fights. Welcome to Down the Stretch. I'm your host Christopher Charlton. We'll be taking a look at racing for Saturday, October 5th. Featured race is the Philip Fiani OD Gold Cup. Let's get right into it. The first race, named for birth by Joe. It's a 250 climber, 4 furlong straight. A lot of these horses have their problems, so it's the matter who is the fitter will prevail. I've boiled this down to 4 horses: the 1 Storm Valley, the 2 Heart of a Lion, the 3 Buzz Assault, and the 4 Sensational Satin. I'm leaning towards Sensational Satin. I think that's my top choice in this race. Roman has decided to hop off a Storm Valley and come for Sensational Satin. I think that's a plus. Very speedy as well, and at 4 furlong straight, I think that's the horse they're going to have to beat. Storm Valley, once he's 75%, he's going to be there fighting it out. Buzz Assault, speedball grey, but tends to hit a brick wall inside the final furlong, but this is 4 furlong straight, so might have enough in the tank. And Heart of a Lion, I think, represents something of, I think he ran a bit against much better in the past, but things have not gone in his way. But those are my 4. Storm Valley, Heart of a Lion, Buzz Assault, and Sensational Satin, with Sensational Satin being my top choice. The second race, named for Orient Express. This is a 7.5 furlong, 550 claimers. We have a field of 7. This goes one of 2 ways. Either Power Faith gets to that lead, no one presses him, and proves very difficult to catch if he stays out the 7.5 furlongs, or someone decides to press him and he falters in the stretch, and that opens the door for, I think, the 2 best closers in the race, Nala's Bushman and the Premier Identity. She does close, but she run 3 consecutive good races, so it wouldn't surprise me if she did win here, but I'm skipping her. I'm leaning towards my top 4 of Princess Talise, 4 Nala's Bushman, 5 Premier Identity, and Power of Faith. My top selection is Nala's Bushman, the 9-year-old. Still has a big kick in the stretch, especially if the pace comes back. Premier Identity, I think, is going to be the horse that will fight it out with him. Kind of made his move a little too early and last. I think the rider thought Power of Faith was getting away from him, so he kind of made his move a little too early. He was slowly to stride in that race as well. From a clean break here and a good position at 7.5, I think he definitely should fight it out. Power of Faith, if he gets loose on that lead, will prove tough to catch in the stretch. Is that going to be allowed to happen? We don't know. Left to be seen. And my 4th selection in the race is Princess Talise, Dane Dawkins for Fremantle. Very dangerous there. So want to see, but my top pick is Nala's Bushman to fight out with Premier Identity, Power of Faith trying to steal it, and Princess Talise. The third race, named for Distinctly Irish. It's 4 native 4-year-olds and up. Runners are 3. Imported 4-year-olds up. Runners are 2. It's a mile. Small field of 7 will take part. What can we say about this race? Competitive. Very competitive. I think the only horse I really cross off in this is Captain Philip. Hope I'm not making a bad decision there, but that's the only horse I really don't fancy. But I still, usually my top 4 selections going to be 1 Sweet Victory, 4 Princess Akelia, 5 Cosmic Force, and 7 the very disappointing Uncaptured Empress. Can't seem to get it right. I'm leaning towards Sweet Victory though. T. Foster in the saddle. I'm just leaning toward that horse. Has a nice turn of foot for the last 3 furlongs, and I think at a mile here this race suits him. Uncaptured Empress a mile, I don't know. I don't know if she's going to get the mile. She comes with a run sometimes, but horses that generally do that tend to be like run-on sprinters, but I don't know. I'm leaning towards Sweet Victory to be the horse I think they're going to have to beat. I think Princess Aquila is very dangerous, and it's left to be seen how this one performs in this race, but I have that as a very dangerous horse. Cosmic Force with Dawkins in the saddle, also a dangerous competitor, and the Uncaptured Empress getting another chance to see what she can do here. So top 4 selections: Sweet Victory, Princess Aquila, Cosmic Force, and Uncaptured Empress. I'm leaning towards the one horse Sweet Victory under T Foster to get the job done. The 4th race, name for Let's Go Dancing, and here comes Fudgy. It's for native bred 4-year-olds and up. Now there's a 2 imported 4-year-olds and up maiden, 7.5 furlongs, a field of 8. Not going to waste much time with this. I think this is a 2-horse fight. My opinion, a 2-horse fight. Wind it down to 4 horses as usual. The 2, Sky Rizzy. The 3, Joe Blaine. 4, Waterman John. And the 7, Money Box. I really like Joe Blaine. I think everything fits perfect here for Joe Blaine. Sky Rizzy, very dangerous, very fit right now. Has a bustling rider in P Parchment. Waterman John has already won at this level, but was disqualified. So he gets another shot at it. He failed on the last to deliver. And Money Box, who turned the tables on Waterman John in the last meeting without actually winning, also has a shot here. But I'm leaning towards Joe Blaine. I really like Joe Blaine for this. V. Sanchez riding very good right now, so I think that's where I'm going to. I'll lay my bet. I'm probably going to go for exacta Joe Blaine Sky Rizzy. But as I said, Waterman John has already won at this level but was disqualified, so he's the obvious horse you'd have to choose here, but I'm leaning towards Joe Blaine. The 5th race, it's named for the great Eros. 4-year-olds and up, now there's a 4 imported 4-year-olds and up, now there's a 3, 7 furlongs. We have a field of 9. Very competitive race. Extremely competitive race. This one took a little time. I boiled it down to 4 again. The 1, Cookie Day and Night. The 2, Mr. Senator. The 5, Whiz Kid. And the 9, California Gold. Okay, my reasoning for this is I've left out a lot of horses that a lot of people would fancy, namely Huntsman and Benson and Wayne's Princess. But here's a reading. So that first of all, it's a 7 furlong race, so I consider that a sprint race. So you're going to have somebody flashing for the lead, who I think is definitely going to be Legit Boss. Nunes has put Legit Boss in here, I think, to really go out there. If no one decides to go with him, well, good luck to Legit Boss, but I don't think they're going to allow him to steal it. So I think he's really in here to kind of soften the pace up for Mr. Senator, who I think will be getting a prize today. I think Benson is also going to try to hunt up that lead, and also She's a Mirage. That looks like, in my opinion, it's going to leave the door open for the stretch runners. And I think, in my opinion, the best stretch runner in the race is Whiz Kid. M. Semple, I don't know how good of a jockey M. Semple is, but I'm liking Whiz Kid today because I think in this pace might shut off in the stretch. California Gold ran a brave race on last when going 9.25 when trying to make all the running. This is not 9.25, so I don't expect him to be on the lead. I think he's going to run his more natural race off, stalking the pace and then making a move, leaving the 3. Huntsman, I think Huntsman preferred, although this is a sprint, I think he prefers a shorter distance sprints, like maybe 5.5, 6. And Cookie Day and Night will also be one of those that finishing well. I think Cookie Day and Night might have preferred a little longer, but definitely can hold his own here. So as I said, I'm leading those. I'm at 4, but I'm giving the edge to Whiz Kid to close strong, California Gold, Mr. Senator, and Cookie Day and Night. Those are my top 4, but I'm leaning towards a big run from Whiz Kid to get the job done. The 6th race, named for I'm Satisfied. For 3-year-old maidens, 5.5 furlongs. We have a field of 10. Boil it down to 4. The 3, Chinita Estrella. The 4, Seaplane. The 6, Irish Wish. And 8, Tiffany Blue. Chinita Estrella has been knocking at the door. Very, very fit horse, but seems to always find 1 or 2 better. I think that trend might continue, but still has a good shot. Seaplane ran a very good race on last when going a mile. Steps down to 5.5. Might be a little on the sharp side, but in races like this, where there are a lot of speed, there are a lot of horses coming out of a straight race that are going to have a lot of speed here. So if they cause any problems early, you might see the horse who has the best stamina staying on late in the event. Irish Wish looks the obvious horse that we're going to all have to beat, with T. Foster in the saddle for Anthony Nunes, who has 2 runners in this. Irish Wish looks like the standout horse in his camp. And the horse I like, the Gary Crawford trained Tiffany Blue. Very fit horse, Sneaky Fox in the saddle. I think it's a fight between these two, Tiffany Blue and Irish Wish, to fight it out. Leaning towards Tiffany Blue, but it could go either way. So those are my selections: Tiffany Blue, Irish Wish, Chinita Estrella, and Seaplane if the pace collapse and someone is staying on strongest. I think that will be Seaplane under the bustling P. Parchment. The 7th, named for A King is Born and Buzz Nightmare. Very interesting contest here. The 3-year-olds. It's 8 furlongs. Field of 7. Number 1, Impressive Force, undefeated in 2 starts. Both very impressive wins. Ramon riding. That's the Sneaky Fox for Philip Fiani. 2 Played Fair, came off of a race recently for a very impressive win. M. Bennett riding for Anthony Nunes. The 3, champion 3-year-old filly, Run Julie Run. Ray and Lewis for Ian Passad. The 4, the Oaks winner, Come Home to Me, T. Foster for Jason DaCosta. The 5, Blue Sensation, classic contender, V. Sanchez for P. Passad. The 6, Firecracker, the other entry of Philip Fiani with S1000 in the saddle. And the 7, Allegiance, O. Walker for Anthony Nunes. Oh boy, what a nice race. But I boiled it down to 3. The 1, Impressive Force, the 3, Run Julie Run, and the 7, Allegiance. I'm leaning towards Run Julie Run though. She's the proven campaigner in this. I think her mile is perfect. She was narrowly defeated in the Derby by the Colts at 12 furlong. Definitely is not a 12 furlong horse, and the time of what they ran shows that they're not stayers. So a mile, a middle distance here, is way more to her liking. Represents the class of the race, getting 5 pounds from the imported Impressive Force, and I think that alone is going to help to show that she possibly is better than them at this stage. My second choice is going to be Impressive Force. Very impressive. We don't know how good this horse is. Stretches out now to a mile. Can he get a mile? His running style suggests that he should get a mile, but he's stepping up 2 furlongs extra. And I've seen in the past where horses that have that nice turn of foot late sprinting, when they stretch them out a little further, it doesn't materialize as well, especially if they're going against strong pace in a race. But we don't know how good this Impressive Force is. It's left to be seen. Comes in with the top weight and has the very useful Radish Roman in the saddle. My third choice is going to be Allegiance. Definitely a proven horse, getting better with every run. Was second and last at 9.5 furlongs when chasing the Lone Speed have come home to me. At 8 furlongs, that I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Allegiance might actually get the jump and come home to me at this distance. So I'm putting him to run in front of come home to me today. So my top 3, giving the edge to Run Julie Run over the impressive Force. Don't know how good that one is yet. And for third, Allegiance. The 8th race. It's named for Kilowatt. 7 furlongs. Another race for 3-year-olds. And 10 starters. Also boil this race down to 4. The 2, Adira. The 3, Supremacy. The 4, Train of Thought. And the 9, Fearless Force. I'm leaning towards Fearless Force. I think Fearless Force, that run on last was a very improved and very good run. Just beaten in that event, and that speaks volume for his chances here. Stretched out to 7 furlongs now. We'll have speed in the race to contend with, which should help him, I think. I think he's more one of those horses that will try to run on and chase the fractions. You're going to have Immeasurable Joy, Adira, those horses up there trying to set up. Go West Young Man might flash some speed today. That's a horse to watch out for in the coming weeks. That Go West Young Man might be a little sticky here for him, but I think that's an outsider to watch. Train of Thought, I think, is much better than recent form suggests. Sobrati puts up R. Henry, claimed £3. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if this Train of Thought turns up today and puts in a very good performance. Supremacy ran in the classics. 7 furlongs should be okay for him at 7 furlongs. And Adira and Measurable Joy, those are the pace horses. But I'm leaning towards this Fearless Force. That run on last was very impressive. The change of rider now. I think Fearless Force looks like the horse they're going to have to beat. I'm giving them the edge over Supremacy. And then Adira. And watch out for Train of Thought. And in the people who like to buy the exotics, don't leave Go West Young Man if he turns up today and makes the exotic bets pay more. Okay, so it's Fearless Force, Supremacy, Adira, and Train of Thought for me. The 9th and final, the Philip Fiani OD Gold Cup. Graded stakes, 7 furlongs, 10 horses, and what a field this is. The One Desert of Malibu ran near track record and last. When returning, comes in here at £126. Radish Roman for Gear Sobrati. The 2 Wall Street Trader was second to Desert of Malibu in that race. The 3 Atlantic Convoy, big step up in class here. The 4 Fun Can't Done, I think is the top rated horse in the race. Defeated Atomic on the last 2 starts, who is the top rated horse. The 5 Is That a Fact, top class campaigner. The 6 Norblar, I think out of his depth, stepping 2 classes up. The 7 Further and Beyond, one-time horse of the year, finding these youngsters holding no punches. The 8 Interesting Time Ahead, that is the champion 2-year-old, St. Leger winner. Getting the acid test here today. Banadora, same to be said about that. The Oaks winner, 3-year-old stepping up against Older. And the 10 Major Danger, looking for 4 consecutive wins, stepping up in class, £110 for the very on fire, informed Philip Fiani, which this name is named after him. Okay, who can beat Desert of Malibu? I think the only horse that can beat Desert of Malibu is Desert of Malibu, because she tends to sometimes come out of the gate slow. If that's corrected, even with £126 in the back, I think at 7 furlongs, the superior pace, I think Desert of Malibu still wins this. Wall Street Trader was second to run last, but I think that was because of a little help. But he's an improving American horse, gets an extra furlong to travel. Interesting to see how that one run. Atlantic Convoy, I personally think that's a pace horse, and This race not going to help his cause going 7 furlongs. Fun Can Done, slow starter, but a very, very classy start. Looking for 3 consecutive wins. Would have preferred maybe a furlong or 2 longer, but does have the class. And if they go crazy on the headlines, I think that's the horse that will be finishing the strongest. The 5 Is That a Fact. Played Kamikaze and last and had to sacrifice himself trying to go with Desert of Malibu because Madeline Sunshine, even under the whip, could not keep up with Desert of Malibu. So Is That a Fact had to do the dirty work and paid the price in the stretch, losing the second to Wall Street Trader. This time around, he rated off the pace. I don't think Wall Street Trader runs in front of Is That a Fact. But can Is That a Fact beat Desert of Malibu? Anything's possible. But it's a tall task. Nora Blair steps up 2 class. I can't be fancied further and beyond. Finding these young guys really, really tough. Interesting times ahead. Pace setting horse. Loves to be on the pace or just off it. Even with 109 pounds though, against this caliber of pace, I don't think it's a wise decision for him to try to tackle them. Better to sit off and then try a run and stay sharp for the Mute Mile. Banadora only knows how to run one way, which is in front. And if she tries that here, she's definitely going to be detached from the field coming into the lane. Major Danger looking for 4 consecutive wins, moving from strength to strength. This imported horse from the stable of Philip Fiani. 7 furlongs is no problem, but it depends on how the pace set up. He tends to like to start the leader or press the leader. Will he get away with that here? 110 pounds. He's improving, so that's yet to be seen. But I'm leaning towards Desert of Malibu. I think only Desert of Malibu can beat Desert of Malibu at 7. In the second spot, I think it's a fight between Fun Can Done and Is That a Fact. For 4th, leaning to Major Danger to get the 4th because it's vastly improved. And Wall Street Trade and Is That a Fact. Interesting time ahead for the 5th spot. But yeah, Desert of Malibu, a firm choice here. You know what's interesting? That Mamma Mia isn't in this race to really test Desert of Malibu, because that has been the horse that's been testing the A1 horses with the pace. But maybe those races have taken its toll. That's why we don't see Mamma Mia here. So I think Desert of Malibu should get the job done. Okay, guys, I hope you guys have luck. I hope my tips help you. And I'll be back for tomorrow's racing on Sunday. Okay, be safe.